Welcome to DCU Worlds. Hey folks, the Lobo has been confirmed in the DCU and will be played by Jason Momoa. The casting everyone was waiting for finally happened. The perfect casting everyone knew would happen. And it did. The information was confirmed by Jason Momoa himself on his social media. James Gunn also confirmed and welcomed Jason Momoa. And Deadline, in its article, also revealed that the Lobo will appear in the Supergirl film Woman of Tomorrow. We will also discuss another news involving the Superman movie because supposedly Supergirl was spotted in the Superman trailer. Yes, but is it really Supergirl or could it be a mistake? Let's analyze and theorize what or who it could be. But before we start, don't forget to click the like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. Also follow our other social media, Instagram and Threads, where I will keep you updated on this universe we love so much. Well, let's talk about the Lobo in the DCU. Jason Momoa as the Lobo has been talked about for a very long time, even before the DCU ended. Jason Momoa was already giving interviews saying he would love to play the Lobo. He always said that in the past he collected Lobo comics. He mentioned that he would love to portray the Lobo because he identified with him a lot, but during the DCEU era, it was very difficult for him to play the Lobo because he was already Aquaman. I remember a time when James Gunn became co-CEO of DC Studios. He held a meeting with some DCEU actors. He met with Henry Cavill to say he wouldn't continue as Superman and did the same with Gal Gadot to inform her she wouldn't continue as Wonder Woman. He also met with Jason Momoa, but no one knew what really happened in that meeting with Jason Momoa. Many speculated back then that he would return in James Gunn's DCU as the Lobo. After all, after that meeting, Jason Momoa made a very excited video saying he was very happy. For 2 years, we speculated whether he got the chance to play the Lobo in the DCU. James Gunn also mentioned that some DCU actors could return. So that's when many fans' dreams came true. Back then, we even thought Jason Momoa would play the Lobo in Superman's movie since it's common to see the Lobo involved in Superman stories, both in animations and comics. Time passed without any confirmation that Jason Momoa would play the Lobo. It seemed like it would never happen. But then when Supergirl's movie came into play in the DCU, it became much more likely to see the Lobo in that film because in the comic Woman of Tomorrow, most of the story takes place in space. Thus, it became much more plausible to see this character in Supergirl's film than in Superman's movie. Since the Lobo is a bounty hunter, he would fit perfectly into Supergirl's film story. Even though he doesn't appear in that comic, there are several ways to incorporate him into the story. Maybe they'll send him after Supergirl during the plot or have him show up at a bar scene since Supergirl is somewhat of an alcoholic in comics. It was right there that we expected him to appear as the Lobo in DCU. We just didn't have an official or real confirmation until this confirmation came from Jason Momoa himself on his Instagram. In that image, he reposted a phrase from an interview where he said if they called him, he'd accept immediately. In his text description, he said they called him, which implied they called him, and he accepted. Minutes later, Deadline confirmed, yes, he's going to be the Lobo, and yes, he's going to appear in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. And soon after, James Gunn posted an image confirming that Jason Momoa will play Lobo in the Supergirl movie. And so I can already imagine that after the Supergirl movie, we could have a Lobo spinoff. And I can see that this could happen because Lobo is a character that fits James Gunn perfectly. And he is a character who mocks everyone like Deadpool. So I can see that James Gunn has big plans for this character. The point is that Lobo is a character who appears in many DC stories, so he is not just any character. Moreover, we have never had a Lobo movie, so introducing him into the DCU opens up many possibilities for something new. I think in the Supergirl movie, he won't have a small role. For sure, he will be part of the story's plot, and if they really want to make a Lobo project, they will have to lean heavily on profanity and violence because Lobo is a rated R character. So let's go. If they want to make a Lobo project, what should they do? A movie, a series, or an animation? But I can imagine they could do a Christmas special with Lobo, especially since James Gunn has already asked fans on his social media if they would like to see Christmas specials with DC characters. So I can see that happening with Lobo. Christmas special with Lobo facing Santa Claus, you know. But I think a series would fit Jason Momoa's Lobo really well because he is a bounty hunter. You could have an entire episode centered around his contract, you know, like him going on a mission in space. And on top of that, it would drastically expand the lore of James Gunn's DCU. You could do an episode of him going on a mission in Apocalypse or him heading to Thanagar or Tamaran or New Genesis. There are a million possibilities of planets that Lobo could visit. and give a super hyper mega adventure in a contained 40-minute episode, kind of like the Mandalorian series, but badass with Jason Momoa. I think that could fit perfectly. Between series and movie within this proposal, I believe the series would fit perfectly. That's why I think having Jason Momoa in the Supergirl movie is great, because he will unlock the possibility for these projects. For example, the Creature Commandos series has already introduced Clayface, and now there will be a movie featuring him. They also introduced Sergeant Rock, who will also have his own movie. So I can see a million possibilities they can present with this character. And also, so far, the Supergirl movie didn't have big names like Jason Momoa's. So I think it was a great idea to cast Jason Momoa as Lobo, because not only is he a big name, but he will elevate the movie to another level. So I really like the cast. I can't see who else could play Lobo better than Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa was born to play this character. What's funny is that even when he's not acting, just being Jason Momoa, his character seems very much like Lobo. That's why this is the perfect cast. Well, now let's talk about Supergirl, because they discovered on Twitter a possible appearance of Supergirl in the Superman movie. And you must be thinking, what do you mean? I saw the trailer 50 times and I didn't see any Supergirl. That's right. I also watched the trailer over 50 times and didn't see any Supergirl. It's amazing how they managed to find her in the trailer. They're saying that Supergirl is in this scene of Superman holding the hand of this Kryptonian robot, which apparently was destroyed by Lex Luthor. If you zoom in on the robot's head, you'll see a reflection there. And at that point in the arrow, it looks like Supergirl is standing next to Superman. There, see the blue symbol in the middle, the red below, which would be her skirt. And so, guys, Millie Alcock is going to play Supergirl. She was cast before filming started for Superman, and James also said there's a secret actress in the movie, but he didn't mention who it is. It could very well be Supergirl, and she could be there with Superman in the Fortress of Solitude. It really looks like Supergirl, but it could also be another robot from Superman, because Superman in comics doesn't just have one robot. So I imagine that this character reflected in the robot's head that looks very much like Supergirl could be another robot from the Fortress of Solitude. Maybe I'm wrong, and it really could be Supergirl, but in my mind, it doesn't look much like her. It could be one of the robots or nothing at all, just a coincidence. But there are indeed signs that Supergirl will appear in the Superman film. How much she will appear is a mystery. We saw that the teaser for Superman has many scenes from the 3 acts of the movie, and there was nothing where Supergirl would be involved. But of course, James Gunn must have edited the trailer and removed all scenes with her. She might be right in the middle of fighting against kaijus, but really, there's no way to know if it's your Supergirl in that robot's head reflection. It could be a hologram or might just be nothing at all. As I said, maybe it's just a coincidence. But since Supergirl is confirmed for the movie, we can't know if she will be in all 3 acts or if she will have a small part. Well, folks, that was everything I wanted to talk about with you. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.